I overheard my wife telling her friends that 4 years into our relationship, she packed her bags to leave after a call from her ex, but chose to settle for me. What should I do? We have a perfect marriage. We've been together for 9 years, married for 4. We rarely fight, we're often intimate, we go out on date nights, send memes to each other, the works. Recently, we got news that her ex-boyfriend overdosed and passed away. Now, my wife has no connection to him, so we expressed our condolences to his family over text and nothing more. She often goes out with her friends and I always let her. I have no problem with it because I used to trust her 100%. I had to work late, so I told my wife that if she wants, she can call her friends over to our place since I wouldn't be around. Well, the rains were heavy and our office was told to leave early because some light flooding was taking place on the roads. I reached home and I could tell her friends were there, so I quietly went to our room unnoticed. Everyone was speaking quite loudly though, so I could hear a lot, and the ex-boyfriend came up in conversation. My wife said that 4 years into our relationship, she got a call from her ex-BF, who lived in a trailer, offering to help her see the world. She said she had a bag packed and was ready to leave, but in the end decided not to and settled for the stability I was giving her. I didn't know about any of this. She never told me, and she says that apparently she settled for me. One of her friends asked her if she ever regretted her choice. She said that she used to, but not recently. I guess that's it, right? I'm not unstable enough for her to be attracted to me. She has to settle for someone like me. That one word just keeps revolving in my head. I slipped out of the house and went to a cafe to gather my thoughts, but got a call from her asking me where I was, that I was due home half an hour ago. I went back and she greeted me with a hug and a kiss as always, but I wasn't really into it and she asked me why my mood was off. I mumbled something like stress from work and went to bed, skipping dinner and our usual alone time. Except I couldn't sleep. I woke up a few hours later into the night and sat in the balcony just thinking about how I'm not good enough for her, about how I'm sure she doesn't love me. I know she at least loves me a little, but even for that I have no guarantee. It's the next day now. I didn't sleep much last night and wife's still asleep. I didn't tell anyone anything about what she said because I just can't. What do I do here, guys? Should I even talk to her? Divorce? Is there any hope for us moving forward? Does she even want to move forward? I don't know. I'm sorry for how jumbled up this is. My head is not really in a right place now. Update. I made a post the other day about my wife saying something jarring. Some people asked for an update, here it is. Well, immediately after the revelation, first I drove to a nearby town and took 2 days just for me and my thoughts. I called in sick from work and told my wife that I was visiting a cousin. I then read all the comments you guys had for me. I really wanted to reply to some, but the thread was locked. But I nevertheless read each one and it was a lot of mixed advice. Everyone was advising me to talk to her, but everyone had different views on what to say to her. Some said to just ask for a divorce, some said ask her what she meant, some defended her and told me I misunderstood everything. I decided to go for the middle option. Yesterday, I finally confronted her about it. I walked in and she came up to me for our hug, but I didn't really give one back. She asked me what was wrong, and I told her we had to talk. I sat her down. She could tell I was sad and worried and I asked her if she was happy with me. She said that of course she was. I asked her if she loved me, and if she had done so through the entire course of our relationship. She looked confused and said of course she did, and asked me where this was coming from. I told her that I heard her with her friends a few days ago. I heard how she was willing to leave me after 4 years to be with her ex and how she claimed to have settled for me. She teared up and said she didn't mean it like that, to which I asked how she meant it. She said that by settled for, she didn't mean that she thought she could do better and was dating down, but that she made up her mind to stay with me because I was the better person. I told her that 4 years into our relationship, there shouldn't have been a question in the first place and brought up the fact that she said she had a bag packed. She started crying and said that that was an exaggeration on her part, that she only considered it and that was in a moment of weakness when we were having a fight and were briefly on break. Her ex called her because he heard about our fight through a friend and they spoke on the phone for about an hour in which he flirted with her, put me down and offered to show her the world. She said she had a choice between going with her ex or reconciling with me and she chose me because she loved me and always will. She said that 4 years ago she was a weaker person, that I made her stronger and better. I then brought up the fact that she said she regretted it but hadn't done so recently. I asked her what she meant by recently. She said that she regretted her choice for only a month after the offer was made because she had thoughts about what could have been, but stopped when she realized that she had the best moments of her life with me. I asked her if anything happened between her and anyone else through the course of our relationship, to which she said that she never cheated on me and never will, and I believe her. We were both crying at this stage and we just hugged and sat together. She apologized for what she said and what she was like 5 years ago. I apologized for listening in on a private conversation without telling her and for doubting that she loved me. I'm really happy that it was nothing but a misunderstanding and I'm glad we were able to come out stronger. Some people mentioned that I should get a DNA test for the kids, but we don't have any kids, so that's not a problem. Also, she mentioned possibly having survivor's guilt, so we're going to look into that too. Thank you everyone who commented and DM'd me. Your advice was really appreciated. Second story. I overheard my wife telling her friend that she married me as a very last resort and could have had a much better guy if she hadn't settled for me. Basically the title. I, 26M, overheard my wife, 24F, talking to one of her best friends on the phone while I was passing the bedroom. This friend is in a serious relationship. My wife then said to her, "Sweetie, remember it's your choice. Don't settle for just anyone. That's the mistake I made. Who knows who else I could have had. My name was my very last resort, and now look where it made me end up." Hearing that honestly broke my heart in two. Does she even love me? Why am I being treated as a second base? Am I being dramatic and overreacting? I haven't said anything about it since. I honestly don't know what to do, but hearing her say has really made me upset. Edit. Thanks everyone for the kind words. Really has made me feel a lot better. Going to be talking to her soon. Also, I noticed a lot of people thinking this post is fake. I understand how it could be seen that way, but it isn't. I've been engaged to her for over a year and a half, and just 3 months ago we got married. Not really used to calling her my wife yet. Anyways, thanks for the advice everyone. It amazes me how people on the internet can care so much about a person they don't even know. I'm gonna talk to her today. I will be updating you all soon after. Update. Just did one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Today after breakfast I told her we should sit down and talk. She was hesitant, but I said it was important. We went to the living room and she said to me, "I already know what this is about." My post apparently made it to the front page, so of course she saw it after scrolling down a bit under popular. Of course the waterworks started happening right away. I told her what she said had deeply hurt me, but obviously she already knew that since she read my post. Through her tears, she said, "I was just joking. I wasn't serious." She then went on saying stuff like, "I love you. I love you." I told her I can't be in a marriage where my partner doesn't love me the same way I love them. She tried to tell me that she loved me and that I meant something to her, but it was all bullshit. She said she didn't want to lose me. I told her I don't think this marriage was the right decision. And from there I basically told her it was over. I told her I knew how she really felt about me, and that it was fucked up how she basically played with my emotions. For all those wondering, we have no kids, and I pay fully for the apartment we live in, and I own almost everything we have other than her clothes. I even pay for her car. So after all of this she'll have little to nothing left. Before our marriage, we agreed to sign a prenup, and at that moment, I've never been so happy with a decision I've made in my life. After that, it was a few seconds of awkward silence. Before she said to me, "Fuck you." She started screaming at me, telling me, "You just can't end things like that." I told her I could do whatever I wanted, and that's when she became very hostile. She screamed at me saying, "You're the fucking worst relationship I've ever been in. You think I can't find someone again? Do you think you'll ever from someone as good as me? You're a fucking idiot, my name." She grabbed her bag and phone and said, "I'm leaving," before slamming the door behind her. At that moment, I felt like I was on one of those dramatic sitcoms you'd find of TV. I sat down on the couch and cried, and I'm still crying as I type this up. It's both happy and sad tears, and I knew it was only time before she cheated on me or left me. She never loved me, it was obvious. Our relationship only went one way, and I feel like a complete idiot for not seeing it earlier. I live in California, and I'm gonna start the process to annul our marriage. Tomorrow, I'm gonna start throwing all of her belongings into trash bags, because that's essentially where they belong. I'm not throwing out her stuff, just using the trash bags as a way to give her back the things she owns. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your kind words and your great advice. All of you gave me the courage to stand up for myself, and I know my life will certainly improve as a result.